Today, our focus will be on exploring the fascinating power of your DNA and the ways in which you can consciously activate it. While it may initially appear to be a concept taken from a mystical tale or even a miracle of nature, in reality, DNA activation is based on relatively simple and accessible scientific principles. Perhaps the most astonishing and enlightening aspect for many is understanding what DNA truly is. This complex and marvelous molecule that carries the genetic instructions used in the growth, development, functioning, and reproduction of all known living beings and many viruses. Understanding how DNA operates opens up a vast field of possibilities, including the incredible ability of self-programming. This self-programming isn't limited to just altering physical or genetic traits, but also encompasses the potential to influence our well-being, mental health, and even our emotional and behavioral reactions. As we delve deeper into the knowledge of DNA, we are not only exploring molecular biology, we are connecting with a deeper level of self-awareness and self-development. This process of DNA activation and reprogramming can be considered a form of harmonization or alignment with the innate capabilities we already possess, allowing us to access and enhance skills ranging from improved physical health to heightened mental and emotional clarity. Therefore, this journey to understand and activate DNA is an exciting exploration of human potential that crosses the boundaries between science, health, and spirituality. DNA is a storage medium, like a hard drive. The human body is a walking hard drive. According to peer-reviewed scientific studies, 1 gram of DNA can store an astonishing 700 terabytes of data. Here, we're not talking about mystical or ethereal data, but real data, like what makes your phone work, zeros and ones. This capacity has been demonstrated by scientists like George Church and Chris Shuri, who managed to encode and recode digital data into DNA. They found that they could store an ebook in DNA, copy it back to a server, and repeat the process countless times. 1 gram of DNA stored 70 billion copies of an ebook, totaling 433 petabytes of data. This leads us to an incredible insight. Theoretically, within the DNA in our bodies, we could store 13.5 billion years of data, the estimated age of the universe. This means that, in a way, the entire universe is contained within us. All data and particles are continuously recycled. Nothing is lost in the universe due to the laws of thermodynamics. Everything that has existed since the beginning of time is, in some way, present now, including in our DNA. This view leads us to the theory of the Anunnaki, beings who are believed to have come to Earth in the distant past and genetically modified pre-existing hominids. This theory, although controversial, suggests that we were not created but modified by these beings. They would have disconnected parts of our DNA, what we now call junk DNA, but which would actually be unplugged DNA. This would have reduced our capabilities, both physical and spiritual, and limited our potential. According to various theories and archaeological evidence, early human ancestors may have had a deeper and more intuitive connection with nature and the cosmos than most of us do today. There are hypotheses that they had larger brains, which could have resulted in more developed pineal glands. The pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye in spiritual traditions, is considered by many as a kind of spiritual antenna of the human body, bridging the gap between the physical and the metaphysical. This gland has intrigued scientists and philosophers throughout history due to its central location in the brain and its mysterious nature. It is known to regulate circadian rhythms and produce melatonin, a hormone related to sleep and time perception. In some esoteric traditions, it is believed that an active pineal gland can enhance psychic perception and intuition, connecting individuals to higher dimensions of consciousness. Furthermore, the human brain contains magnetite crystals, a magnetic mineral also found in various animal species. Some scientists hypothesize that these crystals may serve as potential conductors or amplifiers of electromagnetic fields. In the animal kingdom, magnetite is known to assist in navigation. helping some bird species, turtles, and other animals orient themselves with respect to the Earth's magnetic field. This natural navigation ability is a fascinating example of how biology can be intrinsically connected to the planet and the broader environment. If our ancestors did indeed possess these enhanced capabilities, they may have experienced the world in a very different way than we do. They could have been more attuned to environmental changes, weather patterns, and even the subtle energies of the universe. This could explain some of the incredible megalithic constructions and precise astronomical knowledge found in ancient cultures, which still challenge our modern understanding today. This perspective leads us to reconsider the relationship between human biology, consciousness, and the natural world. It suggests that by delving deeper into our own biological and spiritual potential, we may rediscover some of the lost abilities and strengthen our connection to nature and the cosmos. Interestingly, research indicates that a worship gene was inserted into the human genome approximately 200,000 years ago, coinciding with significant genetic modifications. Among these modifications was the fusion of chromosome number 2 with telomeres at the ends, something that scientists believe could only have been done in a laboratory. This suggests intentional genetic manipulation in our distant past. This idea is further supported by the longevity described in ancient texts, where humans were said to have lived for thousands of years. Today, science suggests that under ideal conditions, a human being could live up to 120 years. Studies at Harvard have shown that by modifying telomeres in mice, they lived up to 3 times longer than normal. This implies that we were genetically tampered with to have a shorter lifespan. One of the most intriguing aspects of modern genetic research is the discovery that DNA can store epigenetic memories, transmitting them for up to 14 generations. This revolutionary idea expands our understanding of heredity beyond the transmission of physical traits, such as eye color, to include behavioral and psychological aspects. Epigenetics, a field of biology, studies how behavior and the environment can cause changes that affect how genes function. Unlike genetic mutations that alter the DNA sequence, epigenetic changes are reversible and do not alter the DNA sequence itself, but rather how cells read the genes. These epigenetic memories are like marks that can be added to DNA in response to lived experiences. For example, if a person goes through a trauma or intense stress, these experiences can cause epigenetic modifications that can be passed on to future generations. This suggests that traumas, fears, phobias, and even certain behaviors and preferences may have roots not only in the environment or upbringing, but also in the experiences of our ancestors. This phenomenon has significant implications for the understanding of mental and physical health. For instance, the study of hereditary diseases may benefit from understanding how the experiences of ancestors affect the health of future generations. It may help explain why some people have predispositions to certain fears or behaviors without an apparent explanation in their own lives. This discovery also opens up a new field of therapeutic possibilities. If epigenetic marks can be passed down from generation to generation, it may be possible to develop methods to alter them, helping to heal traumas and hereditary diseases. Now, let's relate DNA to the law of attraction. DNA plays a crucial role in initiating this process. When people talk about receiving downloads of information, it's not mere fantasy. Human DNA has the ability to send and receive wireless signals, functioning like an integrated Wi-Fi system, transmitting information within a radius of 8 to 10 feet. Our bodies are constantly downloading information from the ether of space-time. We are like antennas picking up electromagnetic waves loaded with information that are everywhere but invisible to the human eye. When our DNA vibrates at specific frequencies, it can synchronize with these waves and download information from them. The idea that DNA can download information from the universe is not just an esoteric theory, but has foundations in modern science, especially in the field of quantum physics. Quantum mechanics shows us that, just as DNA can store data, it can also be influenced by information waves circulating around us. Speaking of quantum mechanics, one fascinating concept is quantum entanglement, which describes how particles can instantaneously influence each other over large distances, transcending the limitations of the speed of light. This suggests that our brains may be interacting with dimensions or realities beyond our three-dimensional perception. This quantum connection may explain how thoughts and intentions influence reality. The law of attraction, far from being mere superstition, may have scientific foundations. When we align our thoughts and emotions, such as love, with higher frequencies, we are potentially influencing our DNA and, by extension, the world around us. Ancient texts, like the Emerald Tablets and others, speak of the ability to manifest realities through meditation and thought. This idea that we can synchronize our consciousness with the universe is not just philosophy, but may have a scientific basis. The so-called Christ consciousness is not necessarily a religious reference, but rather an elevated state of consciousness and harmony with the universe. By elevating their frequencies through love and positive thoughts, people can theoretically influence the reality around them. Scientific experiments have shown that different emotional states can affect the frequency at which DNA vibrates. For example, when we are in states of love and gratitude, DNA vibrates at a higher and more harmonious frequency. This synchronization with higher frequencies can connect us with the collective consciousness of the universe, allowing the laws of physics, such as attraction, to operate in our favor. This means that by changing our vibrational frequency, we are potentially altering the reality around us, attracting what resonates with our state of being. The influence of quantum physics and collective consciousness on our ability to manifest desires and realities is a fascinating and continually evolving field of study. The idea that our thoughts and intentions have real power over the physical world is supported by research in fields such as quantum physics, molecular biology, and neuroscience. The law of attraction, often seen as a spiritual or metaphysical concept, may have roots in science. When we align ourselves with positive thoughts and emotions, such as love and gratitude, we influence the vibration of our DNA, which in turn can affect the world around us. This is a perspective that blends the discoveries of modern science with ancient wisdom. The collective consciousness, a shared energy field among all living beings, can also be influenced by our thoughts and intentions. According to this theory, by raising our vibrational frequency through love and compassion, we contribute to a positive energy field that can affect the collective. Furthermore, the notion that we are all interconnected through a universal quantum field suggests that we may have a much greater impact than we imagine. Our thoughts and actions not only influence our personal lives, but can also contribute to the collective well-being. The study of DNA and its ability to store and transmit information opens doors to a deeper understanding of how we are, in fact, an integral part of the universe. By aligning ourselves with higher frequencies of thought and emotion, we can not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to the collective well-being. This is the true essence of the law of attraction and the connection between science and spirituality.